Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to Conversations with Sapphire J. Blue. I am Sapphire J. Blue, and tonight I have author Kenya Moss-Dyme, and we have her book, Prodigy. And I want to tell you guys, it was such a good book. Such a good book, such a good story. My Kindle, where I could show you the picture. And she has it on audio. She has it on audio, and you can get it through Google Audio, Google Play. This was my first time doing Google Play, and I liked it. Try to support more authors who have books on Google Play. If you're an author that has a book on Google Play, let me know. Hello, author.
Hi.
I was just telling everyone how awesome this book was.
Okay, thank you. Glad you enjoyed it.
Oh my goodness. Well, I've told you before you're weird, so we're not going to even go with the weirdness thing. You authors that do this paranormal and everything, you guys are always a little creepy. Sapphire always says that, yeah, I'm not going nowhere with you guys. I don't want to meet up. Welcome to the category, author, because now I don't want to meet up with you either.
Aw, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
I'm a lot of fun in real life.
You guys are killers.
I mean, we just like, dark entertainment, that's all.
Dark entertainment. This book was awesome.
And you did
I was not
the
ready.
audiobook, right? You didn't read it, you did the
I did
audiobook.
the audio. And you know what, author? I have to do a live package opening for you because I ordered the book from your website, but I left it downstairs.
Okay.
But I do have the other book I bought.
Okay.
This one was crazier.
Yeah.
Because this one had like little creepy stories. But I want to let you guys know that author Kenya likes a creature.
I do.
She likes a creature, and it's pretty scary because her creatures are like human-like, if I'm going to say that.
Yes.
So it's more to, why am I squinting when I have my glasses, right? So it's more like they are creepy, and it's closer to reality because it makes you wonder, am I walking the streets with creatures? Because I'm trying to get the best angle for us. Because I will say this. Sapphire went on a cruise, and my roommate, my sister, said, "Oh, let's sleep with the door open." And I said, "No, because a merman is going to climb up here and kill us, and I'll sleep." And that comes from you guys. That I'm now bringing fiction into reality. And my sister looked at me and said, "A merman?" And I said, "Yeah." Not thinking mermen don't exist, Sapphire. This is you and your authors and your stories. And then she said, were you reading something? And I was like, I don't want to talk about it no more. We're just not sleeping with the door open.
I feel like mermen would be kind of like nice because we've been raised to believe that mermaids are nice. They just sit by the water and sing. And
we've been raised to believe little boys are nice, author.
Very true. Very true.
So we're not going to tell this story. I see some of your, why can't I think of the word? I see some of your authors that are like you, little killers, have joined us tonight. Welcome.
Yes, we travel in packs, yes.
Yes, I see. I see. But all the authors are welcome. All the authors know that I have interviewed all of them, which is awesome. But it is crazy that you gave us Pen Sisters. Yes, thank you, Arthur J.R. Manson. Arthur J.R. Manson, you're supposed to be here.
Yeah,
You coming on?
she's got to. That's my narrator. She's got to talk
Yeah.
about Leo.
You guys do an interview at the end, which I didn't listen to
Oh, you didn't listen to? Okay,
because
you got to listen
I
to that.
I listened to it, but I didn't want to listen to it before our interview
Okay,
because then I didn't want it to seem like I was piggybacking off of her.
okay.
So I'm going to listen to it after. Did I tell you guys that the book is on Google Play?
You mentioned Google Play. It's pretty much everywhere except Audible right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still working on Audible. I'm going back and forth with them in email. I've had some technical issues. I'm going to put it back. I'm going to get it on Audible, and I might put it back on my website as well.
I would say leave it there.
Leave it where? My website? Yeah.
I enjoyed it just as good as an Audible book.
Okay. That's good. Good to hear.
People put Arthur Navi Robbins said that, if it's on Audible, then you can read it as you read the book, which Sapphire has been known to do. But today, I enjoyed this Audible so much. Just listening to it.
Okay.
The narration was awesome. The music was awesome. The sound effects were awesome.
Oh, yes.
You guys just did a great job. Do you, Arthur?
Okay.
I'm going to tell people to go to the website and buy it.
Okay. I got to turn that back on. I'm working on it. It is such a fantastic audiobook, and the sound effects. I just want more people to hear it. Can you request JR join so she can talk about?
Sure.
Because she did those sound effects herself.
She just tried to. She's coming in, trying to come in now.
Yeah, because those weren't like bought sound effects. I mean, the thunderstorms, yeah, but the voices, the demon baby, she did all of that herself. I was just blown away.
Okay. She should be coming in now because it says, here she is. Hey, Arthur.
How are you?
Good. So number one, you have to come on my show. Got to read some of your books and get you on here. You are awesome as an audio person.
Yep, as a narrator.
Narrator. You were awesome. The sound effects were awesome. I totally enjoyed it.
Here.
And I just want to say kudos to you.
Thank you.
Back in the day, Sapphire wanted to be an Audible reader because I used to listen to so many Audibles. So look at the role model right here.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying hello, Arthur Jr.
But I can't see you.
It's okay. When it records, we'll be able to see everybody.
Okay.
I see you. I see Arthur. It's weird that I see both of you, but sometimes I don't see anybody.
Oh, that's weird.
It's Instagram. I'm going to say you might want to try to go out and come back in, but it might not work. Like Arthur Tony LaRue said, yeah, we can see you.
Yeah, I can see everybody too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I feel gypped.
So when you were narrating the book, I guess you had read it before?
I did. I read it as soon, like the day it released. And I was talking to Kenya. I was like, yo, this would be like the dopest audiobook. Like all I could, like the sound effects. I heard the wind whipping. I heard this woman giving birth. I'm like hearing all the things. And I'm like, this would be so dope. And she's like, yeah, it kind of would be kind of dope. And I'm like, right. So she's like, we're going to do it. And I'm like, wait, who, me? Because I had only done my own. And I wasn't planning on doing anyone else's.
That is awesome. That is so awesome that you did your own.
She took my virginity.
Mm-hmm.
Lily Grace, the book is Progeny. Do you have it to hold up, Sapphire? I don't have mine.
I can step and get my No, I don't, because remember I did it on Google Play.
Oh, that's right. Okay. I was gonna have one next to me, but I forgot. It's
I thought you would have one,
I
author.
should have grabbed one,
You
but it's
think?
Progeny. Well,
Yes.
usually
Um,
Sapphire has one to hold up, but we're doing the audiobook,
yeah.
so
Um, Arthur R. Coxton is Prodigy. You can look at it on the flyer.
yep, it's on the flyer.
On the flyer is the book. I did the Audible through Google Play, so I'm probably not going to be able to show it on Google Play. Um, I want to say that for a good creepy story, you guys are not going to guess what's going to happen at the end. Don't forget it. I didn't get it. I knew there was something going on with Leo, but I didn't know the depth until you read it. And I guarantee you, when you read it, you're going to go, oh shit,
Mhm.
I'm getting slack. No, I'm not getting slack. It's on Audible. So I can't show it. It's on Google Play. So I can't show it. Google Play is not going to show the
It's on
picture.
Spotify. It's on Apple Books or whatever Apple calls them. It's on Nook. It's everywhere except Audible.
Yes. And Arthur J.R. Manson, is it Mason or Manson?
Yes.
Mason. She got
Arthur
me
J.R.
over
Mason does the narrations, which is, oh my God, it is so awesome. We have here a story, without giving too much away, about a woman who you realize something is wrong with her. Prodigy.
Project.
You know what?
Progeny.
Prodigy. But hold on. I'm going to get it on my Kindle and
Okay.
show it.
Okay.
Let me get
Thank
my
you.
Kindle.
Mine is upstairs.
And since I read it on my Kindle, I don't have the physical copy.
Well, thanks for joining. I just felt like it wouldn't be right to talk about the audiobook without you being here because the chants, the chanting, the giving birth, like those are the parts that stand out. But
Well,
and then the
that's why
neighbors.
you can't get it on Audible now, because all that chanting, we done summoned the demon and
Here
we
we
can
go.
first.
This is the book,
Yes.
guys. Look, it came right up on my Kindle because I bought it I bought it on Kindle too. I want to say the story is about a woman who has a baby. That baby grows up and he's weird. When you guys saw today that I said that the author's weird, this is what she does. Weird stuff.
And Leo, I don't think Leo was weird enough. I feel like, after you finish a book and you wish you had done things differently, there's so much more I wish Leo had done.
Carrying around dead squirrels wasn't enough.
No, I didn't go deep enough with him. I want to go deeper next time.
You went deeper in this one
Yeah, I went deep on that one.
because I was like a little nightmarish for a while. Um, if you're a person that loves a good book on creepy stuff, and I mean like creepy, like weird stuff. There's always some kind of creature. There's always some kind of weird personality. There's always people who are oblivious, and that's you, the reader, because you don't know what she's talking about. Because when you first start reading, you're like, oh, this is good. This is a good little story. And then she just like, wham, the craziness comes in. And then she keeps on going. It's not like she zaps you with it and then stops. She just keeps getting weirder. And this end is epic.
Thank you.
It's epic
And then, like,
because I
you
didn't
talk
see.
to her, and she sounds so sweet and so innocent. You just want to give her a hug. She's giving grandma vibes, and she's doing the most depraved things to small animals. I think in this most recent book I read, I left my review. I was like, I'm concerned. Like, she needs to call Dr. Samara Alexander and get some therapy because all the small animals have been not safe in her presence.
Are we gonna find a little box in your house, Arthur?
No, they do get on my nerves. I had it with those raccoons. If you guys haven't read Chitters yet, those raccoons were driving me crazy when I first moved here. That's where Chitters came from. I hate them. They are not cute to me. We're lifetime enemies.
Did I read
Same
that?
here.
I don't think you have. It's in volume 2. Previously, it was by itself. I was using it as a reader magnet.
Okay.
I think that what we see in this book, and I'm just gonna name the characters for you. We have Leo, a little boy. Graven, a boy. He's the only one who stayed true to himself in this book.
Teenager, yeah.
Teenager. Pharaoh. Boy, are you in for a surprise? Claire, the mother. I don't know why the author did it to her, but I guess she has her reasons.
Sweet, innocent Claire.
Paul, the father. You try to make us think he's innocent, but then we find out he's not as innocent as we thought. When Pharaoh tells him, you played the part better than I thought, I was like, dag.
Because the motto is we all have a little bit of evil in us.
Not
Some of us is closer to the surface. Some of us is further down.
Sapphire. I know some people I know will say, yes, Sapphire, but not Sapphire.
Okay.
The
Paul got
author,
what he deserved.
and that's what, I want to tell you, the author took that sentence straight from the book. So it says, there's a little bit of evil in all of us, my loyal friend. Let's be honest. Without us bad guys, how would everyone else know that they're good?
Exactly.
But I must admit, you actually surprised me. I mean, I didn't expect you to knock off Sweet Claire. So the author is telling you, Paul got what he deserved. Author told you the truth. We see here what lust can do
Mm-hmm.
and how people take advantage.
Right.
Do you feel like Paul took advantage of that young innocent girl?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. He was her therapist. He crossed the line.
Yeah,
So
but did he know? Like, did he know? Was he like being influenced?
Yeah, he was.
and he fell for it.
Yep. He fell for it because he was weak.
Mm-hmm. You can't appreciate. Yes, Eric, you're right. You can't appreciate the light without some darkness. Very good quote.
Mm-hmm.
Author J.R. Mason, when you were narrating, how did you know how to put in the exact sounds that we needed to hear in the audio?
I didn't. Yeah. It's just how I'm feeling. Just how I'm feeling at the time. What I love movies, television. I'm the author who will watch it on television before I read the book. So television is like my real passion, and I just want it to sound like you just turned around from watching television.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And I had no
I
input
just
on
need.
that either. Like she just did it and sent me pieces, bits and pieces. And I was like, oh, that sounds wonderful. Like I did not say, let's do this, let's do that. She picked the sounds and sent me snippets all the way through, and everything was perfect.
Well, yeah, because there was the
Awesome.
one part where I sent her options for when Craven is hiding from the beast person,
Hmm.
and I was like, "Do you want him to sniff the air normal, or do you want him to sniff the air crazy?" She was
Yeah.
like, "He could just sniff the air normal." And so once I started editing, I'm like, "Man, that he gonna sniff the air crazy," and it worked.
Yes.
It was crazy. That was like my favorite part. He sniffed the air, and then the growl that comes after it, and the doom sound, and the everything. It was like everything.
What was so good about it is that, sometimes you read the audiobooks and they don't bring all of the action that you did in your imagination. Because, when you're reading it, you do your own imagination. But the way that it came in, that was imagination.
Because I'm as dark as she is.
I'm looking forward to reading your books and interviewing you
Well, it's so
or
funny
listening
because
to your
at one
audios.
point during the story, it said she was chanting in an ancient language, and I'm like, I don't know a damn ancient language. Well, I got this ad that was sitting beside me, and I just started chanting all the words that were in the ad. Like the Sony water was on sale. Wendy's was having some sort of chicken special. Like there was just all this stuff. So I just started like chanting. You know? And so I was like, all right, let me just stick that in there and see what happens. And it was like perfect. Oh no.
It was good. It was good. It was good
Thank you.
because I've heard other audiobooks narrators come on and they say, "Oh, I have a sound effect person
Mm-hmm.
summoning the value of the meal." Yes,
Mm-hmm.
Summoning the
yes.
value from Wendy. And now what the one is it Tony? I think was it Tony? One of them was all I hear is Dasani. Every time I
Mm-hmm.
listen to it, I just hear Dasani picked out. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Once you told us where it came from, because originally I thought you were just chanting it in Latin or something, but once you told us, now I can hear the words. But it's just so perfect.
It's good.
It was fun.
The author did such a great job. When we have the creature part and the narrator reads it slow, so you can really, find this in the reality of certain death. Craven lunged up and punched his brother, striking Leo in the jaw and causing him to fall back, was just long enough for Craven to escape the living room. The author spaced that out so perfectly. And I say the author, I mean J.R. Mason, because she's the one who did the audio.
Mm-hmm.
She spaced it out so perfectly. It's like you could hear like the footfalls. Because we know if someone, is scared, what they're going to do, what they're not going to do. And now at this point, the tables have turned. Leo's not the little weird, crazy brother anymore. Craven is not, yes, poor Craven. Craven is not the older teenage brother anymore. The tables have turned. Leo and the Beast turned to the sound of Paul screaming Leo's name as he and Pharaoh walked into the front door. You now Paul is like, what the hell is going on here? When he looks at Pharaoh, he's like, what happened, buddy?
Yeah, because Pharaoh was his man. That was his man crush.
Right? So now he's like, what happened, buddy? And he's like, yeah, there's something I didn't tell you.
One thing I want to point out, when I was putting this together, I kept trying to research more horror stories featuring young Black boys. I did not really find any. I kept asking people. I really wanted a chance to put more young Black boys into horror. If anyone knows any, references, I would still like to know more, because that was the thing I wanted to do with Leo. I didn't find a lot of that, and I wanted him to be as evil as possible. And I'm very curious as to why there's not more books like that, because I'm not done with
I
Leo at all, but I think we need more of that.
I can say, as Sapphire, one of the reasons why I started doing the show is because I wanted more indie authors to be recognized.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had read some books by different authors of color that were indie authors that were awesome. So awesome. Author Ashanti has a stalker book. It's one of the best stalker books I've read.
Okay.
You know, I see our Dean Koons in our community. I see our Stephen Kings. I see our Nora Roberts. I see so many authors that I feel are so much better.
Mm-hmm. Our Frida McFadden's, our big Fridas, we got those.
Yes. I see our fantasy authors. I see all of that in our community, and I feel like I wanted the world to know who they were.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to give some notoriety. You guys know what I'm trying to say.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why I can't talk today, but I wanted to get you guys out there, and I wanted the world to see that we as authors of color can write science fiction, can write horror, can write romance, can write crazy killer.
Mm-hmm.
We're just not all urban fiction authors. We write everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I've read so many awesome paranormal authors of color, and I just wanted people to know. When I first started doing this, I was doing it on Blog Talk Radio on a show that I didn't think people were really listening to. But at the end of the next week, I'm seeing like people were listening in London, in South Africa, in the Philippines. I don't know. I have a big audience in the
Yeah.
Philippines that I never even knew I had, in Indonesia. And all these people were listening to the show. And so many authors had told me that different people reached out to them. And I feel like if we don't promote us, who is? Who is?
Yes.
And everyone knows I will interview anyone. So it's not like I'm only doing authors of color, but I am doing authors of color. Because unless I listen to a show of color, I don't see a lot of authors of color being interviewed.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to have authors of color. I want to have different colors. I don't discriminate, but I want indie authors to be known. I want them to be seen. I want people to, I'm not saying if Beverly Jenkins asks me to come on the show, I'm going to say no. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you, I wore my New York Giants jersey the day Sierra's husband joined the Giants in New York, because they got a book out. And if she tells me she wants to come on the show, she's welcome to it.
Okay.
So I'm not saying I'm not going to interview the big ones, but I want the little authors to be seen. And I don't mean by little by size or books. I mean by color.
Mm-hmm.
I want, would I pray for you all guys to get big publishing deals? Yes. I would love for you guys to be on Random House and all these things. But until you get there, Sapphire is going to interview you. And people are going to see you. People are going to stumble across my show. They're going to see you. They're going to see your books. They're going to see that flyer somewhere. They're going to buy your books, and they're going to know you're here.
We appreciate it.
So I want to say, Stephen King better watch out. Because these women of horror are coming for it. And they're giving us old Stephen King, not new Stephen King. The old, creepy, a little boy who we know is weird, but we find out how weird he is.
Yeah.
We get a father who is portrayed as the perfect dad, but we know that he's a little dark too. And we get a little regular teenage boy who gets caught up in the madness. The first thing he says is, I never wanted a brother. I knew my parents was talking about this, but they never asked my opinion.
Right.
So, but Arthur, I want to say this. I remember when he stuck up for him at school, when the kids were getting ready to pick on him. And I think that's what kept him alive.
Mm.
That's Sapphire's imagination.
Mm.
That's what kept him alive, because he remembered he treated him like a little brother.
And the night he carried him home, holding
I
him
was,
with his
I was
feet.
just
Yep.
thinking that.
That
But
was a
then you went
touching
and
moment.
ruined it with the blood in the hoodie. So it's like, all right, I'm done.
He tried.
Kenya can destroy a family moment like nobody's business.
Yes. But isn't that what the horror authors do? Just when you think we're going back to normal, wham.
Yeah.
When the book bag was thrown in the garbage, I'm not naive. I knew it was going to come back out.
Mm-hmm.
But the way it did, I'm going to say I knew Pharaoh was a little funny, but did I know? No. What can we expect next for you?
So I've been talking about, so the mixtape volume 2 is really just like a soft launch. That's not anything big because it is a collection of previously published stories with a couple of new ones. We talked a little bit about Seed, which is my next big one that's coming in May. So really those two are the main ones right now. But as I said, I'm not done with Leo, but this year is kind of full. My dance card is full for this year. So we got to look into next year.
Okay. Arthur J.R. Mason, welcome to my show. What kind of books do you write?
I kill people for fun.
Oh, okay.
You're going to love J.R. Mason. I can't believe you guys are just now meeting.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
just
I saw you
meeting.
guys together on your last live that I was on. I popped in to watch.
So I have to get you into my schedule. We have to talk. We have to chat. I want to let you guys know, if you're new to Arthur J.R. Mason, she told us that she does her own audios. So do you do an audio for every book?
That's the goal. Right now, we're working on Confessions of a Sane Single Woman, which that's a rom-com. But I actually have all of the people who are in the book, because it's true, it's nonfiction. They're all coming to lay down their own lines. So it's going to be a fully cast audiobook with the actual people who.
Are the men coming?
No, no. The men don't even know they're in the book. We changed the name to protect the stupid.
Just the friends.
Just the friends.
Okay.
Awesome. I want to be a friend. I want to be in an
You
audio.
gotta come on over. Come on over. I'm in Pittsburgh. I'll find the character for you.
Yes. Yes. I think that you guys are perfect together. I think Arthur K. Kenya, you have found your audio book narrator.
Oh, absolutely.
Just hire her away. And I think for all the other authors, you guys should look into her also. Definitely go on Google Play or Spotify, wherever you get your audiobooks from and download the book. It's 2.5 hours. So you can do like Sapphire. I listen to a lot of audiobooks while I'm cleaning. So cleaning and cooking. My family
And check,
already knows.
and check out the interview at the end.
Yes.
Us, it's not even an interview. It's just us, just like casually talking about the book and different stuff. I thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah, it's fun.
It was great. I didn't, when I heard the two of you talking, I was like, oh no, I don't want to listen because then it's going to seem like I'm getting the questions from the end of the book. So I'm going to go back and listen to it now.
Okay.
I want to ask you both, what is the lesson we learned from this book?
Don't piss off Kenya Moss-Dyme.
No, I think the lesson is, like I said, there's a little bit of evil in everybody. I think it depends on what it takes to bring it out of you. What is your limit? What does it take to get you to that point where your evil pops out? A lot of people haven't gotten there yet. I've been taken there back when I was married. I had my moments, but
I
there's
think
a little bit in
marriage
everybody.
brings that out of all of us.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah.
I
But
remember the little innocent girl I was when I got married, but I can surely tell you when I used to get out of bed in the morning and go to work, I used to always make sure I knocked my husband's foot before, on the way to the bathroom every day, because I know it annoyed the hell out of him.
Yeah.
So I would get out of my side of the bed, and when I was going across the floor, I would always find a way to knock his foot. And he would go, why do you have to always do that? And I'm like, because there's not enough room. But I did it on purpose every day. Because I was like,
you just said Sapphire didn't have any in her, see?
yeah. Because I was like, I'm getting up to go to work and you sleeping late and you came in late. I'm like, if I'm up, everybody's going to be up.
I hear you.
I would wake up the baby. We all going to be up. I got to go to work. Everybody going to be up. Sounds like your ex-wife, Eric. See? Yeah, the exes bring it out of you.
Yeah. We all have something. We all have that point. And
yeah.
I think that's the lesson.
Arthur J.R. Mason, you said you're working on a new book, and that's a reality book.
Just for the audio, that was published back in 2020.
Okay.
I put Stolen Pieces series on audio. How to Kill Your Neighbors is on audio. It's done. It's just not edited. So I'm just finished up. Actually, Gilletta's on here. Her book, The Inheritance of Amaya Montgomery. And then I have another one on deck, The Hostage by Samara Alexander. So I don't know when mine's going to actually get done. I'm doing everybody else's.
Yes.
But it's been fun.
Awesome. To any of the authors that are on here who don't know me, I am Sapphire J. Blue, and I read your book, and then we come on a story and talk about your characters. So feel free to hit me up for interviews. I'm going to keep on harassing author J.R. Mason until she comes on, so she should get ready for that.
Okay, you can harass all day, but you start spilling spoilers on this live, I will throw Instagram. It's going up in flames. We don't do spoilers. I kill the last person who left spoilers in my book. So.
Wow. No, we don't do spoilers. We don't. I think we left enough in Progeny for people to go back and read. And yeah, we have enough for people to go back and read and to want to read. My theory for for the interviews is to get people psyched to go read your book.
Yeah, read it or listen to it. Yeah, definitely get that audiobook though, because it's so much fun.
Yeah, it is. I almost died having an asthma attack.
That's because you put your foot in it.
I
You
know,
didn't
but I
follow
needed
it.
options. I needed like options, like which asthma attack works best. So I had like 7 asthma attacks out on the porch at one point, and the woman was like, "Are you okay?" Like, I'm fine. Dying for the art here.
I'm
Yeah.
working on something. Leave me alone. But it's good that you can do that, that your neighbors feel like you're dying.
Yeah.
Probably used to all those weird noises by now,
Yes,
as many books as you've worked on.
yes,
I
yes.
know.
I'm sure they're like, here she goes playing a part again.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ignore her. Ignore her.
I think I'm more worried for the time I'm not playing a part and I
Right.
am actually being slaughtered in my house and nobody's going to respond because they think I'm just in here acting.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
So,
I think that's always a fear of writers also. So I'm going to leave you with 2 quotes that the author put in her book in the beginning. The first one is by Khalil Graham. They come through, they come through you, but not from you, and through you they are with you. Yet they belong not to you. When you're reading, remember that. The woman who
Khalil Gibran.
cried murder. Yes, Eric. And the next one is like from my favorite movie, The Wolfman, 1941. Even a man who is pure in heart and says his prayers by night may become a wolf when the wolfbane blooms and in the autumn moon is bright. So that means to me, this is even the good have bad in them,
Mm-hmm.
like the author told you. The first one is you don't know what's inside of you until it comes out. Good night, everyone. Thank you, authors.
Night. Thank
As
you.
always, read, and leave the author a review. You can leave a review on the audio. You can leave a review on the paperback, on everything. But leave the author a review.
Please. Please and
Thank
thank you.
you.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Bye.